All right, guys, so I just wanted to take a second to, first of all, just do a general recap on distance learning. And then after that, I'm going to do a quick review and talk a little bit about what your quiz is going to be looking like for Tuesday. All right, so just some updates on distance learning. All right, I want to start with number one up here, email. You guys have got to be checking your school email. It's an obligation. All right, at this point, sometimes I've been emailing some stuff out and then I'm getting questions about something that I already emailed out, and some of you just aren't on there checking. And it's an obligation. When you're doing distance learning, we have to have forms of communication with you guys, and one of the most important ones and easiest ones for us is email. So please make sure you're checking your email. If there's any important information I need to get to you guys, it's going to be sent there. All right, so please check your school email. Second, on Teams, there's a section called the Posts section. In there is where you're going to find me posting information about my office hours. There'll be an invitation to join the office hours in there. There'll be information that I can post in there just like I can with an email. So if I'm going to get something out to you guys, it's important. I'm going to put it in the Posts section on Teams, and I'm also going to email it to you guys. So on the app, find the Posts section, and in there you'll see a list of, and not only the assignments will all be in there as well, but anything else that's important will be in there too. So please make sure you're using that Posts tab, not just for this class, but I think all your other ones as well. All right, the assignments, just a reminder on the assignments, you do not have to click the turned in button when you're done with it or turn it in. I can get on and see that you've completed it or looked at it or viewed it. All right, it's going to be on you to complete it. But if you want to mark it as turned in for yourself, just so that you have that, that's fine. I don't need you to, though, if you don't want to. All right, office hours. All right, Tuesday I'm doing office hours by class period. Now, what does office hours look like? I've had 2 of them so far, and I've had nobody. All right, and that's okay if you don't need any help. All right, but what office hours are intended to be is a time where I sit down, I'm at my computer, we can video conference and go over anything you want to go over. You don't have to do a video chat though. You can do it just with audio, or you can type chat with me. All right, but either way, you've got to get on and join the meeting first. So the way you can do that, there's 2 ways. You can go to the Posts section and find the meeting. You'll see it by class period on there. Click on it and there'll be a spot for you to join the meeting. Or you can go onto the calendar on Teams and find your class period on there. I have them by times on Tuesday starting at noon. Click on that and you can join the meeting from there. So like I said, you don't have to be on a video with me. We can just type chat with each other. We may have to video if we need to, if I can't help you through chat. All right, or you can also just join through audio. You can also just join and watch the meeting if you'd like and see everybody else asking questions. All right, so just want to throw that out there. The last thing is just general observations. I want to let you know that I have the ability to, I already talked about this a little bit, I have the ability to go on and see what you viewed, who's viewed what, who's opening things, who's not. And some of you aren't doing very much, and you need to be. You need to be keeping up with things. One of the other things that I want to point out is on the quiz 1, I'm able to go on and see how much time you spent on that quiz. Average students spent anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes on that quiz, but I had people that spent 7 seconds on that quiz. So what does that tell me about how you did that quiz? All right, so let's try to do things the right way, please. All right, this is all for you guys. All right, you guys have to be motivated enough to do it on your own, do it the right way. All right, so I ask that you please take a look at these 5 things and start getting responsible with all those. For those of you that are doing things already, that's fine, that's great, appreciate it, but some of you got to pick it up a few notches. All right, I'm going to transition to the review for the quiz now. All right, so I'm going to take you through 3 example questions, practice problems for your quiz. On your quiz, you're going to have 10 questions, and they're all going to be just like these. You're going to have to find the exact value of some tangents, sines, and cosines, all with a whole bunch of different angles. So I have up here my 3 main resources, my 30, 60, 90, my 45, 90, and my unit circle. First question I have for you is to find the tangent of 225. So if you want to pause the video real quick, try that, and then come back and I'll show you the solution. All right, to find the tangent of 225, first thing you're going to need to do is find 225's reference angle, and that's going to get you started. So let's start with 225, sketch a picture of it. It sits about right there. And its reference angle is going to be this angle right here. And we know this is 180, this is 225. So if I subtract those two, I find out that the reference angle is 45 degrees, which means I can rewrite this as the tangent of 45 degrees. To find the tangent of 45, I use my 45, 45, 90 triangle. Doesn't matter which 45 you use, it'll yield the same result. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, which in this triangle is just going to be 1 over 1, which is just 1. But then the last step is to make sure you pay attention to your ASTC. We are, in fact, in the T quadrant, which means tangent's positive. So I'm going to keep that as a positive 1. So there's question 1. Here's question 2, sine of 330. Go ahead and pause the video, try it, and I'll go over it. All right, sine of 330. First thing I want to do is find 330's reference angle. 330 can be found way over here. And its reference angle is going to be this angle right here, formed with the x-axis. We know this is 360 all the way around. This is 330 to right there. Subtract those two and we find out our reference angle is 30 degrees. So I can rewrite this as the sine of 30 degrees. Where am I going to get that? My 30, 60, 90 triangle. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse from SOHCAHTOA. Opposite of 30 is 1. The hypotenuse is 2. 1 over 2. But ASTC, we are in the C quadrant, which means cosine is the only one positive, so I need to make sure I make that a negative 1/2. All right, here's our last one, the cosine of negative 225. Once again, pause, and I'll go over it. The cosine of negative 225 is going to require us to first find a reference angle. Negative 225 this time, so we're going in this direction. So negative 225 is going to sit there. All right, to find your reference angle, which is this angle right here, formed with the x-axis, we know this is negative 225, this is negative 180 right here. The difference between those two is 45 degrees. So my reference angle is 45. Remember, reference angles are always positive. So I can change this to the cosine of 45. All right, so if I go and find the cosine of 45 from my 45, 45, 90 triangle, adjacent over hypotenuse, which doesn't matter which 45 you use, you're going to get the same results. So adjacent 1, hypotenuse radical 2. Now don't forget ASTC. We are in the S quadrant, which means sine's positive, everything else is negative. So that means our cosine value is going to be negative. So negative 1 over radical 2. If you have any other questions leading up to the quiz, feel free to get in touch with me.